Hello, what's up guys, I'm Kyle from KGR, and just the other day I bought this. But after buying it, it got me thinking, I used to love buying Pokemon cards so much, but I don't do that anymore. In fact, I barely even buy Yu-Gi-Oh cards anymore. The only reason why I buy them is because sometimes they're very reminiscent to older cards, so I try to go for them. I am not into the new, like the pendulum summonings, and I forget what the new one's called, the Link summoning, I think? I don't know. I don't like the new stuff. I don't like the way they're changing the game. I don't like the way they're breaking the game. It's not the same Yu-Gi-Oh that I played with when I was younger. Like, I liked Synchro summoning a lot. XZ summoning, I was okay with, I guess. But after that, it was just like, no. Anyway, I'm trailing off. I'm not into card games as much as I used to be. And here, not so long ago, I made a video talking about how I got into Pokemon, so if you haven't seen that, you can click right here. And then your Yu-Gi-Oh channel posted a video talking to other people asking why do they play Yu-Gi-Oh. So after everything falling into place, it's like, I think I should make a video talking about how I got into Yu-Gi-Oh. And if you like videos like this about KGR's origins of certain franchises, suggest some things in the comments, and I'll do an origin story on it, I guess. And if I choose yours, I'll leave a little shout out in like little, I don't know, this little spot right here like I normally do when I pull up comments. So if you want a shout out, leave a cool suggestion, I might do it. Anyway, let's talk about how I got into Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a little bit of a funny story. I don't remember the exact year that I got into Yu-Gi-Oh! But I was like in elementary school when Yu-Gi-Oh! First came out. Cause back in the day, since I'm an old fart, there was just this huge phenomenon of like different companies trying to like pretty much cash in on the Pokemon hype. Like Pokemon came out and that just took over the world. And then we got a bunch of other shows and franchises like trying to catch on that success. We got Digimon, we got Yu-Gi-Oh, we got Duel Masters, we got like Beatamon. What other franchises came out that like were trying to cash in on this hype? I don't know. But anyway, when Yu-Gi-Oh came out, like I saw everyone was just trying to copy Pokemon, and I was a Pokemon fanboy, so I tried to not get into anything else. I saw Yu-Gi-Oh and I'm like, you know what? This is stupid. I don't want this. But then me, my brother, and my grandmother, we all went to this development, and they were all doing yard sales. I don't know what all I picked up during that yard sale because I was like really young when it happened. Again, I was in elementary school. But I remember I did pick up a Baha Men CD for the second time because I don't know what happened to my first one. I bought that CD 3 times. But anyway, we're shopping, and here my brother sees this guy trying to sell a whole crap ton of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And I guess he just buys, like, I don't know if it was a box or a binder, like, it was a bunch of, like, common cards. But I'm like, oh my god, you bought Yu-Gi-Oh cards. How stupid of you. Now before I get more into this, I should mention, here my brother and I used to love collecting Pokemon cards, and so did my brother's friends. I mentioned this in the Pokemon story, but here they ended up giving me all their cards, and I bought my brother's cards for like 25 bucks. And I'm all like, yeah, I got a nice Pokemon collection. You're starting off with Yu-Gi-Oh? Ha! Peasant! I actually didn't say that as a kid, but that was my, like, my high ground that I was sitting on. Maybe. Pretty much I was like, no, I don't want to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! It just seems dumb. But then my brother found a bunch of spares in this little binder and then gave me his spares. I'm looking through them, I'm like, crap, I like these. And thus, I bought more Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So every weekend at Saturday's Market, me and my friend Taylor, we would go there and buy a bunch of different cards. When Yu-Gi-Oh came out, I think it was around the 3rd generation of Pokemon, like when it was like starting to come out. I could be wrong on that. You can correct me in the comments if you want. But I'm just telling you how I remember things. I remember, like, I loved the first 2 generations of Pokemon. I was more into the first, but the second one, I would find new Pokemon. I'm like, whoa, these are cool. But I was so sucked into Yu-Gi-Oh that like 3rd generation didn't even faze me. I know like when Fire Red and Leaf Green came out, I knew they were really big deals, but I didn't want to get into them. I was just so sucked into Yu-Gi-Oh. Anyway, I trailed off. Here, me and my friend Taylor, we would go to Saturday's Market. We would have like $10 or $20 each. Like, I would mostly have 10. He would end up getting like a 20 or something. So he would get like Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I would get Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I'll get like decks and stuff, like little structure decks, and sometimes packs. And then we get pretzels and stuff too. While I was watching the show, at least the original series when they were on Duelist Kingdom, my god, that is like the worst way to try to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Because the first season of Yu-Gi-Oh! Cheats out the ass. But of course, like, whenever you would watch the show, you would see monsters on there. I'm like, hey, that looks cool. I want that monster. That is how marketing for those shows work, and it makes you want to buy more, and damn it, they got me good. And then you see characters having dual discs and stuff. Now I'm like, hey, that looks cool. And then I see a commercial advertising the new dual disc. I'm like, damn!
Fellow duelists, behold the next evolution of dueling, the Duel Disc. Who will accept this challenge? It's the official Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Disc. With everything you need to duel with the official Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. Now you can activate your strongest magic cards and summon your most powerful monsters in a whole new way. Dueling will never be the same. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Disc accessory. Official trading cards not included.
I want it! Hold up, I think I still have them. I found my OG one. Here, what's supposed to happen is like you're supposed to pull this back, and then there's a little switch down here, and then it like launches it into this position. But unfortunately, like mine's like broken, so it doesn't do that anymore. So I had to like glue it together to stay like this. And I kind of want to pick up another one just to do that again, but they're kind of expensive now, and I don't feel like doing that, so fuck that noise. I think my friend Pete might have them. I remember he did find them at some convention or something, got them for dirt cheap. So if I ever really wanted them, I could just be all like, yo, Pete, let me buy your dual disc for 20 bucks. And he'd probably take it. And then there's a season that had like the seal of Orichalcos and other stuff like that. And of course they wanted to sell more toys, so they came out with the Chaos dual disc. There we go. Now, I love the way this dual disc looks. Not only because it looks so edgy and stuff like that, but honestly, the real reason why I like this is because here, this is actually supposed to go towards the front too. I used to have this as a kid, but then I don't know what happened to it. Then my friend Nico got one somehow. Well, anyway, this is not supposed to go to the front. This is like supposed to go toward the back. So you'd be wearing it. So like this would be like on your forearm and stuff. This is the one I would like to carry around the most. I hated feeling like a bad guy though, but this was the most portable one out of all of them. And no lie, I would walk around Saturday's Market having one of these around my arm. And I actually ran into someone else that had a dual disc, and we dueled. You wanna know how cool that was? Too cool. I remember as a kid, I always wanted the Egyptian god cards. I wanted a set of Exodia. I wanted Blue Eyes White Dragon. And over the years, I did end up getting a set of Blue Eyes. But because I was at Saturday's Market, it's a flea market, so outside at a flea market, there are gonna be bootleg cards. And goddamn did I buy a lot of them. But here's the sad part, I knew they were fake. But I saw cards like Dark Master. I'm like, there's my Exodia. I remember I did have a set of Exodia pieces, but all fake though. That made me kind of sad, but I'm like, oh well, like, this is like the closest thing I'm gonna get, because I can't afford a real set. I'm poor. And then I had like 2 sets of God cards that were bootleg. One looked so legit, and then there was another set that had different art. And I cannot find them for the life of me, like what those arts were supposed to be. But like, they looked so cool though, so I'm like, hey, these are really cool. But I traded that set, I believe, for either a Dark Magician, or I traded a Dark Magician for a Blue Eye Shining Dragon. Speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie, oh my god. Me and my childhood best friend Taylor, we saw this in theaters together, and we loved it. And you got packs from when you saw the movie, and you get like 1 card. There were 4 cards to get, so I guess they really wanted to get those sales in the theaters. It's like, let's try to hit the box office to try to fucking get all of these sales. I ended up getting Pyramid of Light, and then my friend got Sorcerer of Dark Magic. And then he got like Wadapon out of a pack, and then I got Blue Eye Shining Dragon from a friend. And then, of course, through trading, I ended up getting the full set. So fuck yeah. And I loved this movie so much. In fact, I loved it so much, I just seriously recently bought the soundtrack to this movie. Cause no lie, I actually really like the soundtrack. It's not that bad. But I forget who all is on here. I remember with Pokemon, they actually had some good people. Like, I forget they had Britney Spears, Aaron Carter, or something like that, Christina Aguilera. We get the Black Eyed Peas on here, yeah! And they play a song called For the People. There's a lot of songs on here that I love. There's 12 songs on here, but on the disc itself, there's actually 13. So I looked up the CD information for it. Like, it was an unknown song, so I looked at it. And it ended up being the theme song for Yu-Gi-Oh! But not the original one. Like, it was like, I think for Season 2 or Season 3 or something like that. It was badass. I'm so happy to have these. Anyway, time moves on, and then we get introduced to Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. And of course, I got that dual disc too. The only ones I couldn't get were like the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds ones, which I wanted so bad, but I think they're Japan exclusive. And now they're worth a fuck ton of money. It makes no sense. But eventually I did get back into Pokemon, and I was starting to love Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Evenly. But that was around like when I was in middle school though. Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds is probably my favorite series, at least the first season of it. So I remember I was watching it for the first time, I'm like, you know what, this is weird, because they're, like, the main character is in jail now, like, holy fuck. GX, I loved a lot. Because even though it was a spin-off series, it didn't do gimmicks at all. It still, like, held on to the main base of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, there are no new types of monsters, we got elemental heroes, but that's the main character's deck, that's all it is. There's no new synchro summoning, there's no XZs, it's whatever. It's still fusion monsters, but there's a lot more of them. But there's new ways to fuse monsters, but that's about it. You don't just need polymerization or have fusion game. You can have cards like Future Fusion, special fusion cards that like are really good for elemental heroes. I don't know. We got a winged Karibo, and that shit was fucking cute. Yeah, then Zexal came out, and I thought that was meh. I think the last season was probably my favorite because it got a little bit darker. But overall, that show was just really annoying. Arc 5 or Arc V, I did not give that one a chance at all. I watched one episode, didn't like it, and just stayed away from it. In fact, how many kids actually play Yu-Gi-Oh! Nowadays? Like, how many of them actually enjoy the show? Let me know in the comments how many of you do. But again, like, when they end up making cards that are based on old cards, I do it. Like, I even bought the Figma Yu-Gi, and that thing is fucking beautiful. It makes me sad that I don't buy these cards anymore, and I don't watch the shows anymore. Like, not just Yu-Gi-Oh!, even Pokemon too. Little Kyle's growing up, but he's buying amiibos. But now I have a problem. I remember I got this binder, and I absolutely loved it. Because you can see we got freaking the God cards right on the cover of it. In fact, in this cover, there's actually 2 sets right now. I ended up having, I forget how many sets of the God cards now. Oh, I also love the way, like, the backs look, too. Like, I never found one in the pack. My neighbor, on the other hand, got an obelisk out of the pack. But anyway, in here, we have almost 3 other sets. And I know there's another set in my Legendary Decks, too, up there. And then I have almost 3 sets of Exodia. 1 full one in here, 1 full one in my Legendary Decks 2. And the 3rd set is like behind these ones. But anyway, yeah, here's my set of Exodia. I wanted these cards for the longest time, and like now I got them. And then shout out to Hardhead Pistol for hooking me up with a few Yu-Gi-Oh cards as well sometimes. Like, for those who are into the classic Yu-Gi-Oh! And you really want to get into the cards, but there's like too many cards for you to get. Honestly, the best thing to invest in right now, if you want to get into the classic cards, buy the Legendary Decks. Mainly the first one. The second one is kind of alright. But Legendary Decks 1, plus buying the Legendary Collection as well. You can still get this in a box from Target. I just saw them there. They don't have them as a binder anymore, but they still have them as a box. And then they come with like classic packs too. But yeah, get Legendary Decks and get Legendary Collections, and there you go, you have your instant collection of classic cards. And that'll probably cost you like 60 bucks to do it, maybe less. It's worth it. Like, it's really awesome, because like there's a lot of cards that I wanted as a kid, but after buying this and this, there was like almost every card I wanted as a kid, and bam, it's there. I was saying as a kid, I bought a bunch of structure decks and stuff, and this is just living proof of that. Like, all these cards on this page are like the main monsters of that deck. And the deck that I run is mainly of dragons. Like, it has like blue eyes and red eyes and stuff, and like I love that deck. I remember when I was younger, I made a deck. It was mainly just full of my favorite cards. Like, I wanted a blue eyes, I wanted a dark magician. Like, it had no consistency at all. I just had a bunch of cards I just really liked, and had 60 cards, and that's normally a terrible idea. But some of you are probably wondering, what is my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card in general? And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the Mystical Elf. Mainly because back then it had really great defense, and there wasn't a catch to it either. And plus, for some reason, I guess she reminded me of like a mountain or something, I don't know. And I just thought she looked great, and I'm like, you know what, like, this is gonna be one of my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh cards now, so yay. But my deck mainly consists of blue eyes and stuff, and in fact I actually have like probably one more set in here. But anyway, yeah, it makes me sad that I don't play this anymore, and I kind of want to like get my friends together and try to get Yu-Gi-Oh cards again and try to get them back into dueling. In fact, whenever I do end up doing that, we're gonna duel on this little table that I made. Unfortunately, it is a little beaten to hell, but like, I love the way this looks. And I love how it's like based on like the older mats too. Like, finding these old mats is a big pain in the ass too. I don't think you can find them anymore. But if you can, that'd be really cool. But I just think this just looks fantastic. Like, oh, I'm so proud of this. Even though I don't play competitively, even though my deck is actually based on like the actual rules, like no banned cards in there or anything. Anyway, as much as I don't play Yu-Gi-Oh as much as I used to anymore, I still love it to this day. Whenever anything comes out like relating to the old cards or the old series, I'm hopping on it. And I'm actually excited to open this up too, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do an unboxing or not. Probably not. But I am going to open this up in front of my girlfriend though. But that's essentially it for this video. So if you're new and you like what you saw, you know what to do. Let me know in the comments how much do you like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or if you like it at all. Let me know what your favorite series is, your favorite card, whatever. Anyway guys, thank you guys for watching. I love you guys so much, and I guess I'll see you on the next one. In the description there's my Twitter and stuff like that, so follow that. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace, peace.